So last night I played Danny Rensch. This is going to be Smackin Sweaties episode something because I don't remember where we left off. But it got me feeling some type of way. I think that is because I know he's affiliated with chess.com. And if you're affiliated with chess.com, can you please put in a word to like unban all the flags, like keep your liberal paws out of politics because it just ruins everything. I think it got me feeling some type of way because when I was a kid, many of you probably don't know, I was basically raised at the Marshall Chess Club. I reached 2175 when I was very, very young, but I was fat, didn't have a social life, so I quit the game for many, many years, got all that stuff settled, and now we're back. We're back to no social life, but not fat, and we're back to chess. I also got kicked out of college for being unvaccinated. Oh, and when I got back into chess a couple years ago, I went to the Marshall Chess Club. Shout out to the president, Frank Brady, or ex-president. I don't know what happened to him. Because last time I went a couple years ago, I got kicked out because I wasn't vaccinated. I was like, okay, why am I going to spend time, spend money, spend energy going to organizations that just don't like me and don't want to, have me? So I was like, I'm not. I'm just going to play online and not play in tournaments until hopefully one day I can make a name for myself. I can play matches against these people. I could say what I have to say. That would be nice. But they just are making the chess world too buddy-buddy. How you can impose liberal politic ideology onto a game of logic, art, beauty, calculation, history. Back in the day with the USSR, Fisher, it was like, who's your best? Bring your best. Show us what you got. May the best man win. And there's beef. And that's what draws people in. They're making it so buddy and friendly, and I don't like that. Do you guys like that? There's the vent for today. But we're going to explain chess now. We are playing the French defense. We get a main line, knight to c3, bishop to b4. And here, essentially, they usually go pawn to e5 so that they don't lose that pawn because of the pin. Now, I like this queen to d7 move. What is everything queen d7 does? The main thing it does is it anticipates queen to, I can draw arrows, g4, and we can go pawn to f5, and that x-rays over to g7. So that's the point of the queen on d7. You might be like, hey, that's a bad bishop. It takes that into account too. You're going to go b6, bishop a6, and trade off your bad bishop, and you're going to be left with two knights. That's all you need in this world, two knights. Dancing around, wreaking havoc, doing good stuff. So we got b6, queen g4. As anticipated, we go pawn to f5, and there's a few ways this could go right now. They go en passant, it's not so great. You gain a tempo on the queen. You get the open f-file when you castle. You're pretty happy with that. I'm even happier when they go queen h5 because it is a queenless middle game. And you got two knights. And we already referenced what two knights could do. That's all you need. Plus, it's a closed structure, bad pawn structure. They're like long-term bishop pair, yada, yada. Nuh-uh. Try me. So in the game, he went queen to g3. There's like a better move order to do this to avoid doubled pawns, but this is still essentially a main line, I would say. Bishop to a6, trying to trade off. Now, it's fascinating because if you get like bishop takes, knight takes, if they go queen d3, there's other positions this happens. Okay, queen a4 is something to look at since they have the doubled pawns, but when their pawns are not doubled, you actually bring your knight back to b8 and you route it this way. So that's pretty cool. But he goes bishop d3, and a lot of good players have been doing this to me recently, so I need to look into this because as of bishop to d3, I'm out of theory, but I'm still comfortable with the French structure. So queen to f7, a weird-looking move, but what's the point? The point is you want to put your knight on e7 and not lose this pawn. You know they're going to route over to this guy, they're going to push their h-pawn, and you're going to want to be able to go h6, g5 without en passant. You're going to get your knight into the game. So it's anticipating a lot of that middle game idea. So we do get knight e2, we do get knight e7, they go h4, and we go c5. Here, they should really take and just allow them to have isolated doubled pawns, but they are applying pressure here. Computer likes it for white, the bar likes it for white. Again, bar chastises you, you chastise bar sometimes. At least in openings, because this pawn structure is hard to play. I do need to figure out what to do with my king, but so does white, I would say. So instead, he hits the gas too hard on the king side, and he gets his bishop trap. So guess the elo. This is what it's become. My guess is 800, because you should never get your bishop trapped like that in a blitz game. Castles. Pawn take, and I say blitz because you can pre-move in bullet, but it wasn't a pre-move. So we win the bishop. He doesn't resign, and now it gets super fun. Now it's like you're up a piece. They're going to try to come back. No shot. So they go a4 to put their bishop on a3 and claim this diagonal. But we're going rook to g8, and we're just going to bulldoze them on the king side, essentially. So we bulldoze them. They go back, and we win a pawn. That's a good pawn to win, too. Because how do you convert this super easily now? Well, as you can see, this queen has nowhere safe to go. So just kick it out. And our pawn is not even pinned because our knight backwards guards it. So that's kind of sick. The queen moves. Trades help when you're up material. We take. And then where do you put this bishop? I think c4 is the best square because it does this to the knight where it basically just says you're out of the game. Not really because he goes knight e2. But again, we have more pawns on the king side. We're just going to throw them at him. Knight to f3, pawn to g4, kicking him out. And now he's in a mating box. Check, check. To complete the box, you go knight to e3. Boom. Here, it's pretty much resignation. He plays one more move and then resigns here. Kind of wish he played out the mate, right? If king e1, this is mate. And look at this. There's actually a cool mate if he goes king f3. You go bishop e2, check. He takes knight f5. This king is now trapped. And you might say, hey, like, what if he moves the rook to avoid it getting taken or something? You would just go rook to f2. The king moves, and he's in an unstoppable lateral mate. So pretty cool game. And that's my problem with the chess world nowadays. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys don't agree, but yeah, that's what I think. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Have a great day. Boom.